Welcome, welcome, welcome all to the Wholesale Real Estate Investing Show number 272 by Saha. That is myself and my business partner, John Leister there, here on this Wisdom Wednesday. What is this? July 13th, 2016. What an awesome day this is. Here we are in Phoenix, Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful day today. And we'd always like to know where you guys are hanging out from. That's where we're hanging from today in Phoenix here. Type in, ask us some questions, let us know where you're hanging out from. We love to see where the gang is all here from on these shows. And of course, if you're seeing this on a YouTube video replay, well then, hey, not going to be able to converse with you on that, but that's all right. That's okay. So I just wanted to say, really excited about today. It feels good today, a Wisdom Wednesday. Lots of good information for you guys here today about the inner game of wholesaling, i.e. the heart of success. And with that, John, you're still in the middle of paying that bill, or are you ready to say hey to the gang?
I could say hey, but if you could carry on for about 20 more seconds, I could do a better job.
Not a problem. I wanted to actually kind of do a quick little recap. Friday, we put out a show here. The show was titled What is, or Who is, I forget, what is the Phoenix Real Estate Investing Group? And I got in there. We were talking about, towards the end of that show, we were talking about a property tour that took place last Saturday at the commercial shop, sort of a property that we had recently acquired and are in the process of taking down and or flipping or doing something with. And these property tours are a lot of fun. You get to see firsthand a real live real estate deal in action, in some level of action. With us, generally, you're seeing something that's in between the point of, you're seeing something that's in between the point of having had a wholesale real estate contract, a wholesale purchase contract acquired, and either just about to be or having just been flipped and sold for profit is usually where our deals come up. Some of the other people in the group who put on the property tours with their properties, you might see a fix and flip in action. Well, I guess what else would you see besides fix and flip in action? Not really going to go to some buy and hold property and disturb the renter. I don't think so. I guess the other thing you're going to see is probably fix and flips in action, but they could actually be fix and holds in action, I guess, maybe too. We could be getting out there to see a property that somebody's fixing up in order to hold on to it and put a renter in it. So that's obviously a good strategy, real good strategy actually, for people who are looking for properties, especially in today's market, looking at the wholesale properties, the wholesale inventory that's available. The fix and hold strategy is one of your best opportunities if you have that availability to purchase a property, put a little bit of money into it, because you don't have to go crazy, extraordinary, high-end rehabs on these properties, because they're going to be rental properties for one. And if you can do that and you can get in with your hard money or whatever and get that property fixed up and then get your renter in there and then turn around and get that thing refinanced after a few months of them building up a rental history for you there, and then take that money that you got out of that deal and turn around and go do another one. It's a great strategy. But so yeah, the property tour thing, we talk about the property, and then afterwards, generally whoever's property it is, most of the time, although sometimes we bring in a guest speaker as well too, to do some real estate educational training on some aspect. John and I ourselves last Saturday did somewhat about what today is all about, the inner game of wholesaling, the heart of what it takes to be successful. And we were kind of getting into that subject matter a little bit as far as what we were talking about on Saturday. So today's kind of might be a little rehash for you guys that were there at the property tour. For those of you who weren't there, it's a little bit of a catch up. And I just wanted to point out and let you guys know that this coming Saturday, today's Wednesday, this Saturday, we're going to be holding another property tour at this address right here. It's 13819 West Solano Drive in Litchfield Park. And you're all invited. Everybody's invited to come on out, check out this property tour. Just make sure you let everybody know that the reason why you're there is because you saw it on the Wholesale Real Estate Investing show by John and Paul, and we're the ones who directed you there. Very important that you let people know, sort of who originated your presence at these property tours. But other than that, yeah, here's the address. We'd love to see you out there. I don't know whether or not, quite honestly, John or I will either be at this one, just because, well, we got to go out there and get some deals and make some money on this day. So who knows? Maybe we'll show up, maybe we won't. But either way, it doesn't matter. You can go, you can show up, you can get a lot of really cool information. And I just wanted to point that out. That's one of the things we do as the Phoenix Real Estate Investors Group, is we do these property tours. We share education and information and opportunity and resources, and that's what the group is all about. It's all about helping each other succeed in wholesale real estate. And so with that, back to John. Good day, John. Where are you at? How you doing?
Yes. And you know what's funny? That whole time it was all for naught, because it didn't go through and I have to reset the whole order up anyway. So for those of you that are joining us, you might not have seen my face on here for quite some time. I believe I did participate on Friday, actually. Just to kind of keep things moving along here. I don't need to do a big intro for myself. I do want to continue on with where Paul's, I believe, going to take the direction of this hangout, bringing up the fact that each week, part of this the Arizona Real Estate Investors Group that we're members of here in this community, here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, is, yes, each week we do a property tour, which is kind of an awesome way to meet investors, new and seasoned. People with money wanting to do JV partnerships, people just looking for some help on how to do wholesale. That could be boots on the ground if you're a successful wholesale business and you're looking for internship type help. I mean, it's just a playground for Paul and I, and we absolutely love the people that are involved, just the relationships we're creating and the knowledge we're getting. So as Paul said, like, great thing about it is you can actually go and see what an active live deal is, what's going on, what are the numbers, how is it acquired, what's the entry strategy, what are the exit strategies, and going over all these different things. But this is all great. This is all great information that we get. This is all great education, great network of people we're meeting. But what's the point of all of it? What's the purpose to all of this if you're not a person of action? So I'm going to kind of toss it back over to Paul here, because I know he has something in mind today, and I don't want to take us off his topic. But where I kind of see this going is that this is all great to have the education and the network and the resources, but what are you doing with that education, that network, and that resources? Are you someone who's taking action? And if you're not taking action, what's the number one reason why people don't take action? I didn't know before, but I know it now. Paul
Yeah, exactly. And that's you're right. That's exactly what I like to stick with similar subject matter from our previous thing when I do these most of the time anyway, not all the time. But yeah, that's exactly it. Once again, you guys, just so in case you didn't see it, 13819 West Solano Drive, Litchfield Park, referred by Paul and John of Saha. Let everybody know that's why you're there, to check out that property tour. And what does prevent your success in this business? And it is basically just the title of this show right here, the inner game, okay? The heart of success. That's where it starts, right there in your heart, not up here in your brain. That's what holds you back. Your success lies right in here. Your desire, your want, how much passion and emotion you put behind that. That's where it comes from. That's what will grant you your success in wholesale real estate, in whatever real estate it is that you want to do, whatever anything is that you want to do, whether it be real estate or picking grapes, You want to be the best rate picker in the planet? It all comes from right here. Okay, so that's what we were talking about last Saturday. That's what we're talking about here today. Is, you know, not just the desire, and I said it doesn't come from here. This is what holds you back, but this is what holds you back. But it is also what you need to, where you need to make the adjustments so that you can stop it from holding you back, so that you can allow this right here to swell and succeed. That's where the hangups are, is between the whole idea of what you think you know and what you don't know, and what that causes you to do or not to do. So that's kind of the inner game right there, is putting the brakes on your old ways of thinking, allowing new ways of thinking, allowing your mind to actually have new ideas. That's what the old way of thinking prevents. The old way of thinking prevents your mind from being able to create new ideas. And if you're going to be successful at anything, you got to continually be having new ideas.
Ain't that the truth? Continually, but it's not just, it's not just having ideas, it's action. I mean, that's the one thing I think that everybody, I don't disagree with you, Paul, always having new ideas. But if you're not taking action on any ideas, what good is a new idea if you're not an action taker? Because that's one thing that I've realized is more people have ideas than there's more people willing to take action. And sometimes the most successful are people with no ideas of their own whatsoever. They just know how to facilitate getting things done. And those people are just as important as the idea people. Problem with it is most creative idea people that I know don't know how to take a single action. And they don't, and it all starts with, something as simple as not even writing down the idea. If you don't write it down, what good is the idea? You're going to forget. You're not going to focus. You're never going to take action. So for me, relating this all back to the property tour stuff, is a lot of people get in the habit of just continually getting education. They call them seminar junkies. I'm great at going to seminars. I'm great at paying thousands of dollars for the next course and the next piece of information and the next secret revealed. And I know all the theory of success. But you know what? The people who are out there doing it may not be doing it perfectly, but they're leaps and bounds ahead of people out there just trying to learn everything they can in order to have all the knowledge perfectly organized before they actually go out and take action. I say you should go out and take action before you know a damn thing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was a guy said something last night. What did he say? It was like, that's right. He said, my biggest takeaway from the little video that we watched last night, so it was an inspirational kind of a thing like this about and taking action was part of it. But he said, my biggest takeaway with the whole thing was, do it scared. Just be as scared as you want to be, but just do it. That was kind of cool. I like that. That's, I mean, what you're saying there is absolutely 100% true. Without action, all the ideas in the world ain't worth a hill of beans. But also back to kind of where I was saying is the whole idea of action itself is in itself a new idea. Okay, taking the action, thinking of a way to take the action, figuring out if you can't think of a way to take the action, think of a way to learn how to take the action. Whatever it takes to get beyond that, what they call it, the terror barrier. There was some cool stuff in this little video last night. Yeah, the terror barrier is where, like John said, that whole thing about having to have all the information first. It's all about, figuring out the how-to, and then when it comes time to take that action, that's when you come up against the terror barrier, and it's like, oh my God, now I actually have to do something. No, I think I'll just crawl back over here into my comfort zone. start over with this little flashy, shiny object over here. This is much better. Yeah, that one would never have worked. That's where that whole thing is, and that's really the threshold of being a difference maker in your own life is taking all of that. You got to have some how-to. You have to get some education. There's no question about that. You've got to have some how-to, but you don't have to have it all. You don't have to have near all of it. And you know what? As a matter of fact, there's no way in hell you'll ever have all of it. There's just too much out there these days. You'll never have all of it, so don't even try. Don't even think you need to. Just get enough. Get an idea. Get a thought. Run with it. Go scared.
I'm just taking some notes on some of my own thoughts that have, relating this to, because this conversation could take a million different directions, but I want to fall back a little bit onto what we talked about in our previous hangout, because as you guys who follow us know, and you guys excuse me, watching us for the first time may not know, we do these hangouts 3 days a week, and we do 2 hangouts, one at 8, one at 8:30, one about network marketing, one about real estate. So, but days like today where we're talking about the personal development side of success, the hangouts tend to overlap, which is why if you're in real estate, you should watch both. And if you're in network marketing, you should watch both. Anyways, with that being said, we talked about in the last one, and Paul and I came up with kind of a catchy phrase, a new quote that you have to become the person you want to be before you can be the person you want to become. So if you want to be a successful real estate investor, you have to become a real estate investor. You have to just start being one now. All starts with what we talked about, being part of the group, taking action, taking the right actions, getting education, but not overanalyzing to the point where you suffer from analysis paralysis, where that's a quote in the real estate industry is like you overanalyze every deal and you never end up getting a deal because you're worrying too much about any one deal before taking action on making an offer on it, something along those lines, But to fall back to that statement about becoming the person you want to be before you can be the person you want to become, and wrapping this all into, I guess, how do you create a new habit? You know what? Let's just take it now that you've been part of a group, or you've signed up for seminars in the past, or web products, PDFs, whatever for your education. If we were in a room of about 1,000 like-minded people who have all gone to the trainings, have all done the seminars, and we asked them, everyone raise their hand who's done a deal. How many hands usually go up, Paul, when we do that at one of the events, like Saturday? You asked that question. Maybe
I'd say between a little more than a third usually.
About 40%.
Yeah.
So if you ask the other ones, all right, how many people are interested in real estate and haven't done a deal? About 60% of the hands go up. And if you say everyone keep that hand up, how many of you have been taking education, personal development, or real estate education for 3 years or more? I bet you more than half of those people's hands will remain up in the air. Point I'm trying to make is that you can then turn around and say, well, you've been studying this stuff for 3 years. Why haven't you taken action yet? And because their habits and their programming, they're programmed to keep educating and analyzing. They are not programmed. They don't have the habits of actually taking action. So what I kind of like to consider myself, and I think Paul as well, is kind of like evangelists of action taking. I like to think that there's a point when I go up in front of a room full of people, I'm hoping that they're going to see Paul and my background story, realize like, man, seriously, if you heard Paul and I's background, you'd be like, if these guys can do it, shit, I've got a college education and I've been straight and narrow my whole life. And geez, these guys partied they still party. How do they do it? Because anyone can do it. We're just in the habit of taking action. Half-cocked sometimes, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, but getting education by doing. I can't stress how important that is, but it's a habit. So this morning before these hangouts, I listened, and I suggest anybody who's watching this should listen to Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. It came out over 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and it's as relevant today as it always will ever be. more so now because things I think are a little bit tougher now, but there's more opportunity now for sure. And maybe not tougher once you realize the secret of yourself. And in this Stranger Secret, he talks about a 30-day challenge. Take what you will from it, but the 30-day challenge really is about setting a specific goal and concentrating on that goal, positive thoughts, concentrating on just for 30 days, putting 10% of your income for the month aside and learning how to save, learn how to take action. But the whole point of the 30-day challenge is to motivate you to take action, program yourself to take action. I suggest everybody watch it. And I keep bringing this hangout back to that point. But, you know, what good is all the education and all the relationships and all the resources if you're not doing anything with that stuff? So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of bring it all back to that again, Paul. So if I'll toss it back to you for your thoughts here.
I want to go back to where we had talked about, you know, you go out, like I said, you have to have some how-to information. You got to have some knowledge. You go out and you get your how-to, and then you get to that point where action needs to be taken. If there's going to be any success whatsoever, any achievement whatsoever, you get to that point where action has to be taken. And at that point in time, and this was a really cool thing. At that point in time, that's when you start getting that feeling. You know, you start getting that queasiness in your stomach. You start getting that, you know, I don't want to use the word fear, but you start getting that fearful, doubtful, you know, all the negative energy starts coming in, all of the doubts and worry and questions, all that stuff starts coming in. And this is a very, very exciting moment if you can recognize it. If you can realize that at this moment right now, I'm there. That feeling. That's like a warning sign. It's like the I don't know if you ever watched the drag races when you get the light tree and then they're coming down red, and they're turning yellow right now. They're about to go green, right? That's what that's like. That's what that's like. Is you're sitting there with that huge horsepower engine sitting there behind you. I think they're behind them now. Yeah, sitting there behind you with about, I don't know, 800,000 horses in there or something. I don't know how many horses they got, but you got your foot on the brake, you got your other foot sitting there on the gas pedal, practically flooring it there, just waiting for that light coming down. Green, red, yellow, yellow. You're about ready to go green. That moment right there, that's that moment when you're getting ready to break through the terror barrier. And if you can recognize that, and if you can take all the negative feelings that you're now getting, all that fear and doubt and worry and stress and whatever else is, you know, coming upon you right there, if you can catch that feeling right there and you can stop and you can go, whoa, wait a second. I know what this is. This is that moment. This is that moment. I'm just about to make it happen. I'm right there. I'm about to break through and actually see and feel the achievement. So I gotta stop these negative thoughts right now and take them and turn them around and say, okay, everything that I'm thinking right now, no, this feeling should be all about, this is a good feeling. This is an exciting feeling. This is a can't wait to take action feeling. This is a jump feeling. This is a go now feeling. You know, instead of all those worries and doubts, like there is no worry or doubt. This is time. It's you know, the green light's coming. The starting gun's about to go off, and put some emotion behind that feeling right there, and boom, you can go. The light can turn green, and you can step on the pedal, and you can go. Otherwise, the light's going to turn green. You're going to shut it down. Oh.
Yeah, and you know what? It's hard to keep that sort of momentum. You got to be a self-motivating person because you know what? All the people that went to Landmark this weekend that were at that meeting last night, Tuesday, just left that seminar on Sunday. So the best time to catch them to talk about it is on a Tuesday after a Sunday, after a 3-day seminar. But where are they all going to be in a week and a half, 2 weeks? Most of them are going to be doing the same thing that they were doing prior to taking the seminar. That's just the way it goes. But are you one of those people? Are you going to take that knowledge and take action on it again and constantly remind yourself, constantly get yourself in that zone and make self-development and personal growth a daily part of your life, not just a seminar you go to for 3 days every 6 months?
Are you going to actually
think?
That's what it comes down to. You know, you can have your mind running and working and being busy all the time, but are you actually thinking? And that's kind of where, like I said, that moment right there, that's when you can change the process. You have to be able to recognize that and catch it. And then you have to think, okay, now I have to think, what's going on here? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I scared? What am I worried about? And it's like, I need to think about this, and that's I'm my subconscious is putting the wrong message, is attaching the wrong message to this. I need to put a new message on this, and that's the hard part. I need to repurpose these feelings from all bad feelings, because that's what you're getting out of your subconscious when you get to that point. You're getting all those bad feelings that your subconscious is throwing out there. You need to go, whoa, take these bad feelings, turn them all into good feelings, and that could be the difference.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to bring it back again to the Earl Nightingale Strangest Secret that I listened to this morning, and how he starts off the whole message is he talks about one of the greatest threats facing mankind today is the fact that the majority of men simply don't think. The greatest threat to your success, the greatest pitfall to your purpose in life is the fact that you don't think. Most people don't take the time to think. And it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Napoleon Hill has a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Some would joke around and say, don't think and grow rich, but that's a different sort of a message. But no, you become what you think about most. So you should think about what you want to become, and that will help you become it. And just be the person you want to be today, and stop waiting and stop worrying and stop overanalyzing, and just think about who you are and what your habits are so that you can form new ones, success habits like taking action. I'm going to toss it back over to Paul for his final thought, and he can close us out here for today because I see we're coming up on our time. But my suggestion would be for anyone who's not ever listened to Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret, listen to that. And if you have listened to it before, listen to it again. Because I'll tell you what, I listen to that little piece of information at least a dozen times a year, probably more, because it's the same message every time, but I'm a different person every time I hear it. And it always motivates me to snap out of whatever funk I'm in and just take action on things and focus on things and think about things. So it's free. It's on YouTube. There's no excuse why everybody doesn't watch this. If you're willing to spend 30 minutes with Paul and I, you know what? Invest 30 minutes with Earl Nightingale. You'll probably think it's 100 times better than what we talk about. But and that's because we got this information from him. I don't know, but just take action, go out there. There's no excuse in this world. Everything is at your fingertips. You have all the education and information you need. You just need to become an action taker. So that's my final thought.
I'm going to leave you with two final thoughts. Number one, property tour, one more time, 13819 West Solano in Litchfield Park. Let everybody know that you were referred there by John and Paul of Saha from the video that you saw here. Everybody is welcome. It's free, okay? No charge. And to cap off what we were talking about there, especially the final part there about thinking, before I deliver the Napoleon Hill prayer, which is also about thinking, but think about this. How do you think when you don't know what to think? There's a little mind twister for you, right? How do you think when you're not sure what to think? When you aren't thinking, how do you think? In other words, what's going on up here when you're not in control of it? And with that, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth. consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind into whatever ends I might desire. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us here today on Wisdom Wednesday. I hope that you've got a little insight here as to what it really takes for you to be successful at wholesale real estate, at real estate investing, at picking grapes, at whatever it is that you want to do in life. That's it. It's the inner game, guys. All right. With that, have a great day. I've got to hit the button here so I can get out of here.